Honestly, if I'm stuck on an island with Rachel McAdams, you don't have to send any help my way. I'm right where I want to be. Let's talk about send help. Hey guys, AGYT Abbott here. Welcome to my review for Send Help. It is still cold. It's still snowy. It's still frozen all over here, which is why I'm still going to be cold during these reviews. Despite having a heater, it's still fucking freezing. But we're here to talk about Sam Raimi's newest film, Send Help. Send Help. My country twang was coming out there. This stars Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, two very talented actors, and they're stranded on an island. But here's the thing. They do not have a very good relationship. They do not have a good bond starting off things here with their relationship. Rachel McAdams is this real try-hard employee at a company that Dylan O'Brien's character, Bradley, has just taken over from his dad, and he's just like, wow, this woman is cringy, she is uncomfortable, she is, a hard worker, for sure, but, oh my god, she puts off just the most uncomfortable vibes to everyone in the workplace, which I think some people can probably relate to. She's kind of like the person that's like such a kiss-ass, such a overly nice person, even though, as we'll see later on in the movie, her niceness is not to be taken lightly, or taken for granted. And this will contain spoilers. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out and come back and hear my thoughts. So let's dive into this. I'm not going to start at the end, which is what I often do in my movie reviews. I go right to the fucking end of the film. But no, I'll start off where they're crashing. They're crashing in their plane. This dude, one of the people that dies on the plane, he's like desperately grabbing onto Linda's foot and like, give me your seat, give me your seat. And she kicks him off, and then his tie gets hung on the door that's busted open on the plane, so his face is just smacking into the fucking window, and she's like, Linda! Oh man, Sam Raimi does some insane shit in this movie. This is pure Sam Raimi. Exactly as the title reads on this review. You could have told me, like, alright, let's go watch this movie, and I wouldn't know who the director is, and I would watch it and be like, that was Sam Raimi. That was totally Sam Raimi, because there's so many Raimi-isms in this movie. I love the Raimi-isms. It's one of my favorite parts of Multiverse of Madness. And one of my favorite things is early on in the film when Bradley and Linda first meet, she just had some, like, tuna fish, I believe, for lunch, and she has part of it on her mouth and part of it on her hand, and she's trying to, like, wipe her hand, but at the same time, Bradley comes up and she wants to make a good impression on the new guy, the new boss taking over, and she shakes his hand, she gets tuna salad on his hand, or tuna fish on his hand. He's fucking pissed about that. He brings her in the office and scolds her about that. And he's like, oh, we're getting, like, complaints of, like, noxious odors in the office, like, coming from your department. You just might want to move back a little bit. And one of the first things that caught me off guard that made me know I was going to love the style of this movie that Raimi was going with is that Bradley meets her, and the first thing that happens with them is the camera starts zooming in on her, on Linda's mouth as she's got tuna in the corner of her mouth there as she's talking, and Bradley is just visibly disgusted. Oh, I love it. And Dylan O'Brien plays this role expertly in this movie as this dickhead boss that, you can kind of understand to a certain extent why he is as uncomfortable as he is being around Linda, but he's still a dick to her. Like, make no mistake, he's not a guy that you want to root for. And honestly, the same can be said for Rachel McAdams, but Rachel McAdams is the one that really takes charge in this film and makes it be leagues above what it could be from your normal island survival thriller here. And she is cringeworthy as fuck as Linda in the first act of this movie, and rightfully so. That's what works for the character, is that she is so off-putting and uncomfortable to watch, and to see her, like, socialize with the other employees, try cracking jokes, try to get to know them, try to fit in, try to get involved in some activities they've got going on after work, and just being shunned and rejected. It's cringeworthy, and that works to great effect for the character. You feel for her. You get some backstory later on in the film about how her husband wasn't very kind to her. He kind of beat her into the ground, wasn't really the best, and he died in a car accident. and she kind of opens up to Bradley throughout the course of the movie. There's moments where you're like, okay, maybe they are, sort of moving towards understanding each other a little bit, possibly bonding, moving past the bullshit workplace aesthetic that they had going on throughout most of the beginning of the film. But then Bradley completely fucks it over in one scene because he poisons her with berries. And this is like after she did that big confession and everything. So he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna make a raft and I'm getting out of here. He's literally rowing away in the raft and saying, fuck you, Linda! And then he gets hit by the waves and brought back. And then the next day, she teaches him a lesson because she paralyzes him with some squid or something. And then she pretends like she's cutting into his dick and his ball sack when really it's a rat. She's like, next time it won't be a rat. That scene, without context on the first watch, there will never be another moment where I watch this movie and it's uncomfortable as that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a damage or a little bit of a con to the movie. If you're watching it a second time, that scene won't hit as hard. But if you're watching this for the first time, tell me you were not off-put by that. And that did not catch you off guard and you were fucking screaming in your seat. Because I sure was. And really, the thing about Linda is, she's not someone that you want to root for either, to be honest. It's hard to root for either one of them, because they make some horrible decisions, both of them. Because Linda sees a boat early on in the movie, and she goes away, she's like, no, not yet. And this is because she wants to be on Survivor. She wants to survive this ordeal, and prove herself to the world that she's worthy on being Survivor. We even see the Survivor video that she puts out for like her audition. Like, I want to be the next Survivor. And Bradley's like kind of laughing at it, just laughing her off. But yeah, that was not a good idea for him, because by the end of this movie, we get into a horrible situation where the wife of Bradley, the fiance, finds the island. And Linda's out there, she finds Linda, and Linda's like fucking freaking out about this. She's like, oh shit, this is gonna kill all of my chances of being the Survivor, because it hasn't been long enough yet. So she kills them. She kills the fiance and this other guy that has the boat that brought her there. She kills both of them. They start tripping on this, this dangerous cliffside, and they're slipping and slipping, and she just fucking lets them die. Not even that, she fucking, like, hits them with a rock and lets them die. I'm like, holy shit. Like, okay. I was kind of rooting for you there, Linda. Now I'm not too sure. Not very sure. So, the ending of this movie is going to be very controversial for people, because they get into a big tussle. I mean, they are clawing each other's eyes out, stabbing each other, rolling around on the ground, just going at each other, trying to kill each other. And Linda, in the end, is victorious. She gets him into this mansion that she's been keeping hidden from him the entire time. On the other side of the island, there's a mansion. Yeah, there's that in this. And there's a second where he's like, Linda, you're the most amazing woman I've ever met. I've learned so much from you. I love you. And I was thinking, like, I heard the ending of this was controversial beforehand, before watching this movie. And I'm like, are they actually going to make these two become a couple? There's no fucking way. And yeah, there's no fucking way. She kills him. She kills him. And then we cut to her being not only a popular figure amongst, the Survivor world, 'cause she did become Survivor, she did go on Survivor, but she's like golfing, she's got a nice expensive car, she's made a whole career off of this survival that she experienced. And it's kind of terrifying, to be honest, when you really think about the implications of what she had to do, how far she went, and how little of a fuck she gives by the end of this movie. So it's not going to work for everyone. There's definitely some pacing in there that, could have been sped up a little bit quicker. We do spend a lot more time, kind of setting up shelters and stuff like that, more than we spend kind of getting to know them a bit more. But overall, I still had a great time with Send Help. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's another banger from Sam Raimi, and you should definitely go out and see this if you haven't already. If you spoiled yourself and you're just curious now, like, okay, I do kind of want to see that for myself, check it out, because honestly, January hasn't been as bad as we once thought it was going to be. We've definitely had worse Januaries. I mean, this month, we had Bone Temple, we had The Rip on Netflix is very good if you haven't checked that out, and now Send Help. So, yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the film down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Got a review for Wonder Man coming on Sunday. Hope you guys stay tuned for that, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, and goodbye.